I can tell you over and over again how much I love living in Casper, Wyoming. But the truth is, not everyone will agree, and that's okay. But in this video, I'm going to specifically address a recent comment that was left on one of my videos where a viewer stated that Casper isn't a good place to live at all because of sky-high unemployment, a high cost of living, high crime, and a dirty smell. Gosh, with comments like that, it makes you wonder who would want to live here. So in this video, we're gonna really dive into it. Does Casper really stink? Stick around and let's find out. Hey folks, Summer Robbins here, your real estate runner in Casper, Wyoming. And I love talking to people like you every single day about moving or relocating to beautiful Casper, Wyoming. However, not everyone is excited about living here like I am, and a viewer recently left a comment on one of my videos ripping into Casper. Of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion. However, I would be remiss if I didn't address the items mentioned because living in a small area like Casper, it is easy for rumors to spread and take hold even if they're not rooted in truth. So let's set the record straight, shall we? Now, being a realtor, it's my job to know what's happening in our local economy. One thing I can tell you for sure is that employment is not lacking for those who are seeking it. Obviously, the type of employment that you'll be able to obtain here in Casper will be highly dependent upon your background of experience, education, and what industry you are looking to work in. Casper is probably most known though for its energy and oil industry. Casper seems to be in a constant state of hiring for petroleum engineers, drillers, geologists, and energy technicians. But additional major industries in Casper include healthcare, education, transportation, government, construction, retail, and hospitality. Now, when it comes to healthcare, Casper is home to the Banner Wyoming Medical Center, which is the only level 2 hospital in the entire state of Wyoming. So between the hospital, the many medical facilities that we have in town, the surgical centers, clinics, rehab facilities, and nursing homes, opportunity really abounds for employment with clinicians in Casper. In the education field, Casper is home to Casper College as well as the Natrona County School District. Now, Natrona County School District is a school of choice district, which makes Casper extremely desirable to folks moving here from other areas. As you might imagine, the desirable schools here also make employment a must to keep up with the demand. Casper also has jobs in the railroad industry, law enforcement, and other Wyoming government agencies that are actively hiring as we speak. Finally, as of August 2023, per the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Casper's unemployment rate was 3%, which is actually lower than the national average of 3.8%. So when it comes to complaints of Casper having sky-high unemployment, I don't get it. I don't get it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Another complaint that has gained traction recently has been the high cost of living in Casper. With the recent inflation that the entire country has been experiencing, it seems like nowhere is immune to rising costs. However, the complaint of higher costs living in Casper, I think, is actually specifically rooted in housing prices. Because Casper did see a great deal of migration that occurred during the pandemic. And it is true, housing prices rose substantially in 2021 and 2022, where homes on average rose about 40% over a 2-year time frame. And to this day, housing is still very competitive. But many people were coming here from large metros, seeking refuge in more rural places like Casper during the pandemic. And you know, I'm one of them.
You got me now. You got me now. You got me now. Oh, you figured me out. You figured me out. You got me red-handed. You got me red-handed.
But you have to remember that Casper and Wyoming have been picking up steam in general as more popular places to move to, as a lot of Zoom towns exploded during the pandemic. And many folks quickly realized that the grass isn't always greener in Florida and Texas. However, because of this though, many local homeowners here in Casper did benefit from the rise in home equity from the out-of-state buyers. Now, yes, it did put additional pressure onto locals looking to purchase homes, but what some people may not know is that here in Casper, we do have a ton of different programs to help first-time home buyers get into homes, such as down payment assistance and grants. But aside from the housing costs, living in Casper is actually about 5.2% cheaper than the national average. And if you're anything like me, where you're coming from a extremely high cost of living state or area like Southern California, where the cost of living was 47% higher than the national average, you may just find Casper to be a no-brainer, like I did. Now, when it comes to crime, that is something that I would consider to be a subjective topic. Per bestplaces.net, Casper's violent crime rate is 11.2% compared to the national average of 22.7%. Now, alternatively, the property crime rate in Casper is slightly elevated at 42.2% as compared to the national average of 35.4%. Again though, the idea of crime is subjective because when you look at areas like, say, Chicago, which has a violent crime rate of 49.9% when compared to the national average of 22.7%, or a property crime rate of 46.3% as compared to the national average of 35.4%, you start to think that maybe Casper isn't really all that bad. And, I'll give you another example. Now, this one is definitely drastic, but again, it just helps put into perspective that crime is relative to what you are accustomed to. Now, when researching this video, I actually found out that St. Louis, Missouri is ranked as the worst city in America when it comes to crime. Any guesses on what their violent and property crime rates are? Are you ready for this? All right. Per bestplaces.net, St. Louis's violent crime rate is 86.8% when compared to the national average of 22.7%. Any guesses on the property crime rate? It is 85.1% when compared to the national average of 35.4%. I'll let you come to your conclusions on that. However, when considering where to live in Casper, there are websites such as spotcrime.com that you can review to see what crimes have been reported in certain areas so that you can make an informed decision on where you would like to live. All right, the final and probably the most comical comment from the viewer is Casper stinks. Well, does it stink? This one makes me laugh. Not because of the comment itself, but because this comment must be from someone who does not live here. Anyone who lives here knows that Casper gets some serious, and I mean serious, wind, especially in the winter months. If you've seen any of my prior videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you think about it, it's kind of hard for any smells to stick around for too long when the wind is blowing as frequently as it does here in Casper. And to be honest, anywhere you live can have different smells in the air depending on industrial, agricultural, or seasonal activity. That's just kind of the way it works. But, I personally view Casper's air quality to be quite good. Despite the heavy cattle ranching and energy industry, our air quality index ranks on average around a 4 or 5. Now, try comparing that to, say, Bakersfield, California, which has an air quality index of around 40. Now, if you want to talk about smells, take it from me. I used to live in Bakersfield, California, and I even got married in Bakersfield, California. And trust me, Bakersfield has a smell. I'll leave it at that. But bottom line, Casper does not stink, literally or figuratively. Casper has done a ton to keep itself relevant in the game of being a desirable area of the country that people want to move to. Affordable living, a solid jobs market, gorgeous scenery, and an amazing small community that has big city amenities makes Casper extremely appealing. So, as always, if you have any questions about moving to the Casper area, please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me. I would love to help you make your next move. I'll see you in the next one.